You're welcome back. It's still Daybreak here on Trust TV, and it's time for our discussion segment where we'll be taking a look at, JAMB, a pressing issue that has affected thousands of students who sat to write the 2027 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination. Now, this examination took place between April 24th and May 5th, 2025, with approximately 1.9 million candidates participating across 882 computer-based test centers nationwide. The results were officially released on May 9th, 2025, with JAMB Registrar Professor Ishaq Oloyede describing the examination as one of the most successful in recent years, despite challenges. However, the release of the results sparked several outreach and backlash and allegation of technical glitches, unexpectedly low scores, and inconsistency in the examination process. As it went on and on, a lot of people spoke about it. Just yesterday, the board's registrar Ishaq Oloyede broke down in tears while apologizing for the mistake, assuring that the board remains committed to transparency, fairness, and equity. And before we take our calls and our discussions and our angles and our questions, let us take a look at, what the JAMB registrar said yesterday.
Accept the explanation I've given as the truth on this matter. I apologize and take full responsibility, not just in words. I want to say a big thank you to all of you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The question is an apology enough for what happened? Let's look at some key statistics. 1.9 million students registered. Then 1.5 million, approximately 78% of them, scored below 200. Those that scored above 320 were 4,756, and scores above 300 were 12,414. They had, now, some of the complaints that came up that raised and sparked this reaction. You had on social media, a lot of people started talking about it, and hashtag this is not my result started trending on X, where people spoke about it, raised their voices to it. The likes of Ebaze Victoria, who scored 295 in 2024. But in 2025, she scored 132. The likes of Michael in Emerson, who scored 281 in 2023, 311 in 2024, but scored 148 in 2025. We also have another who scored 297 in 2024, but received 155 in 2025 after allegedly preparing extensively with over 25 question papers. Now, we also had the likes of Franklin, who scored 246 in 2025, 266 in the mock examination, and then received 156 this year. To crown it all up, we had Timileyin, who took her life because she scored 198 in JAMB after scoring a higher score the previous year. Is an apology enough for this technical glitch that JAMB said the experience? What do you expect as Nigerians? How do you feel about this to our parents? To the students, do well to send us messages. We're definitely going to take it. We apologize for sometimes not being able to take messages due to technical glitch as well, but we're definitely going to take messages if time permits and if the network permits as well. We're definitely going to take a WhatsApp message. To students who sat for the examinations, do what to send in WhatsApp messages and call. Let us hear your reaction. How did you feel when you first saw your result? How did you take it? To parents, what hopes do you have for the Nigerian education system for the supposed transition into digital, method of doing things using CBT test queue, and then you're saying that there is technical glitch? You're seeing technical glitch as an excuse to the mass failure that occur, the loss of life, the psychological effect on our children. What do you make of this? Is an apology enough? Would an apology even come out if people didn't speak up? The phone lines are open. The numbers are displayed on your screen. We're here to take your thoughts on it. The phone lines are open. Let's hear your thoughts. Send in WhatsApp messages. Now, even on the day of the exams or when people started having the outcry, candidates and parents cited several issues during the examinations. All right, let's hear from Ade. Good morning, Ade. Thank you for joining us from London.
Good morning, my sister. How are you today?
I am fine, thank you.
It's very, very sad to see what is happening. A girl took her life because of the results, and I watched what happened yesterday. I feel sad. I don't know why in Nigeria we are trying to suffer ourselves for nothing. You see, in 1978, when the Vice Chancellor of University came together to regularize admission, and they recommend to the military government then, two departments, which is the admission board and the matriculation board. So, but the military merged the two together to say joint admission and matriculation board. If you watch it, the assignment is not for exam. It's just processing organization to process students to go to university. That's what they are meant to do. The word exam is not part of them. If you say NECO, exam is inclusive. You see, national exam. You say WAEC, West African exam. But in JAMB, it's just a board. So, like in UK, we have UCAS, which is University College Admission Service, and it's non-profit organization. Their duty is to, once a student finish their A-level, they will gather everything together and help the student to get admission to any university of their choice. And where that is not happening, they will make sure every student gets admission. That's the job of UCAS in UK. And if you are a student in Nigeria and want to come and study in UK, you only need your WAEC. Once you have WAEC, you are admitted here to university. But in Nigeria, you have to do 4 exams. You have to do NECO, do GC, do JAMB. I forgot the WAEC. You have to do WAEC. You have to go to university, which means your mates in Nigeria, maybe the parents have money. After WAEC, you don't go admission here. And you are still busy doing 4 exams in Nigeria. You have not got admission yet. And by the time you realize she's graduate here. So this is wrong. Joint admission matriculation board should not be doing the exam at all. Then we shouldn't suffer our children for this type of situation. Once a student graduated from SS3, let the student, maybe you have a WAEC. Once they pass their WAEC, and that should be enough. Then all they need to do is just to look for university for them, but they turn themselves to profit organization, which is wrong. That's not the original why they set them up in 1978. You see, so that's what is causing problem. We don't need JAMB exam. Once a student graduated, then you can get their job is also to organize them like UCAS in UK. That's why you see so many people that graduate together in Nigeria, finish secondary school. Their mate has graduated here, has masters, but their mate in Nigeria is still for year 1 or year 2. You see, so the Senate and the House of Rep, this is their duty now. Make JAMB go back to their original mandate. So your job is not to be doing exam. Your job is to organize and look for school admission for our students. Don't suffer them to do 4 exams before getting to university instead of 1. God bless Nigeria. Good morning, my sister.
Good morning, Ade. Thank you so much for that. God bless Nigeria. If handling exams is too cumbersome for JAMB, then they should let it be and probably find another body to handle it if it is really needed. There is WAEC, there is NECO, there is JAMB, there's aptitude tests just to get admission into the university system. That at the end of the day, the classes are not being taken seriously. There are no learning facilities like that. So why all these numerous examinations? And if you check out some people, that's why the first question I asked when I was introducing the show, is examination truly a test of knowledge? Because you see people who scored and performed very well in WAEC and they had issues with JAMB. And then we had a minister saying that it is because all cases of malpractice were eliminated. That is why the score was that low. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right. Kindly speak up.
My sister?
I am fine. Thank you. Speak up so I can hear you well and tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Oh, this is Apezan Moses calling from Nasarawa State.
All right. I picked just Moses, so I'll work with Moses. Good morning, Moses.
Mom.
Go ahead. Moses, go ahead with your thoughts.
Okay. First, Nigerian education in Nigeria is like electoral as in system in Nigeria. They will do very bad and act very bad and will tell you to go to court if you are not satisfied. Look at this, the type of crocodile tears that man is sharing there. That is crocodile tears. Very correct. Supposing complaint were not made, that tears wouldn't have come out. That apology wouldn't have.
Accept the.
He's just doing that to confuse people, to make everybody turn away. It's very unfortunate that we have this type of country. If you go to many other countries, it's not like that. Look at the way my brother spoke. You only need WAEC to enroll into university. But in Nigeria, you will write and you will write and you will write till, in fact, you will write as if you want to please ancestors. It's very wrong. It's very wrong. That lady that lost her life, that life will not be returned. That is the very sad part of the story. So I pray that God will have mercy on Nigeria. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you very much, Moses, there for your thoughts. You know, like he said also, if people didn't speak up, now let's know that people did not just speak up. A class action suit was filed against JAMB on May 12th. Now, we had Educare, the CEO of Educare, who announced a class action suit that was meant to be filed at the Federal High Court on May 12th, demanding full disclosure of the UTME marking sheet and detailed scoring information. And as at then, over 11,000 candidates had already signed up to challenge JAMB legally, citing errors, system errors, and lack of transparency. Now, that was one. We also had additional legal threats where a teacher, Obanu Sotemitope, reportedly contacted a lawyer to sue JAMB on behalf of her student. We also had parents and candidates demanding accountability, with some calling for JAMB to be held liable, especially for the suicide of the young girl and also for the emotional distress it caused their children. So people did speak up, and this is what I always talk about here on Daybreak. I said, when Nigerians speak up, they move, because it's that people are aware that something went wrong and we're choosing not to admit. You know, we remember when it first came out and they said 78% of students, you know, had a low below 200, and it was alarming, because why would we say a whooping 78% out of 1.9 million, 1.5 million have below 200 for years where we've seen other people score better in JAMB, and it started raising questions. Let's hear from Shatima. Good morning, Shatima.
Good morning, Lilian.
Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Thank you. About the issue of JAMB. Honestly speaking, Lilian, as I dare say it, all this examination is not necessary. But the reason why they are doing so, if care is not taken, if we are not challenging, I'm assuring Nigeria pre-JAMB will come off. You have to write an exam for you to qualify to write the JAMB. So that's what they are doing. They are doing this deliberately. When they are receiving training, the only thing for them, if they reach year 5 in secondary school, that is they call Form 5, then you write mock. After you write mock, then you write GC. By the time you pass GC with your 2 credits, you get admission. You read your degree. But can you tell me the quality of education then was not right? We have very qualitative education as then. But now you have right series of examination for a child. You stress him off before he get admission into the higher education. All these things to me is a blockage towards the children of the masses. And then they are busy taking their children abroad to study at the expenses of the masses' pockets. This cheating is too much. Honestly, it's too much. But you stress somebody child, and your child you package him, take him to outside world, to abroad, and for him to study, and you are stressing children here. It's a pity. We have to fear God. We have to fear God, honestly speaking. This kind of malice is too much. This is a malicious treatment. And these children, they pass the examination, they will do magu and fail the children. Why? What are they gaining for? For what? You see a child, a child with a heart. He will write 4 jams, 5 jams before he get an admission. You have to let him by them. You create unnecessary waste of time for that for that child. We have to fear God. As my brother says, this is crocodile tears. It's true. It's crocodile tears. You design something for a child, for him to fail, and he fail. You come out and you are just shedding tears. Tears for what? And you see, Lilian is very unfortunate. We have to fear God. We have to fear God. We have to sanitize. And my surprise is this computer examination. It was a failure trial in other countries. But why are we reviving it? Why are we adopting it? After all, we know there is countries, advanced countries, that pass Nigeria in level of technology. They tried that system and they failed. Then why are we adopting it? For what? You see, our system of education is all right. System of education of 60s, 70s, and 80s is all right for us. But they are bringing another system just to confuse the country. Honestly speaking, we just have to wake up. We have to wake up. We have to do the right things for the betterness of our country. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Shatima, there for your thoughts. Like he said, the right thing needs to be done. And the question still remains, is an apology enough? What more do Nigerians, what do you expect should take place or take effect after this apology? Now, we have the tweet, hopefully it will be put up, a tweet of JAMB's apology on social media. You know, after the whole story broke and Nigerians started questioning it, so JAMB went to their X handle and they put up an apology saying, man proposes, God disposes. It has been established that the technical glitch affected 157 centers out of 887 centers in the UTME. This was basically responsible for general low performance of the candidates scheduled to sit for the examinations in those centers. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Good morning. Do we still have the caller on the line?
Yeah, good morning, my dear sister.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
My name is Pastor Linus Lunak. I'm calling from Gombe.
Good morning, Pastor Linus.
As usual, can I use this opportunity to appreciate the good work you people are doing? You are reawakening us to the reality that is confronting us, confronting our children, confronting the entire world today. Specifically for our children, that with your knowledge, with your educational background, with your extra curriculum, extra classes that we keep taking our children to with the failure of the government, but we still being pressed and oppressed by the government. So we are grateful to God for the kind of leaders we have, but for this one, specifically for this child who lost her life, or our daughter who lost her life because of the grievance, the shock that she was not able to stand it, she ended up her life. Who knows whether she's going to be a hero in this country, but because of the negligence, because of the selfish interest of the educational sector in Nigeria, our daughter lost her life. It is our prayer that God will comfort the entire family and grant them eternal peace. But this is a very, very big challenge. And for everyone who failed these exams this year, please, may I use this medium to say it is well with all of you. Your education, no matter how they decided to bring you down, decided to destroy you, God will not allow them. I want to also let you know that they may know your background, they may know your history, but no one of them know your future. God has the future of every child in this country in his hand. So he will perfect it in no distant time in the name of Jesus. I have pains in my heart this morning.
All right, Pastor
I want
Linus.
you to know that God will help you in Jesus' name. God bless Trust TV. God bless Nigeria. God bless our leaders. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Pastor Linus, there for your thoughts. You know, he has said that, you know, encourage the students. You know, sometimes beyond complaints, we also lay encouragement in the hearts of our children. So back to the tweet we spoke about, which will be displayed on your screen shortly. Yes, right there. So when this whole came out and, you know, people started holding JAMB accountable, JAMB tweeted, "Man proposes, God disposes. It has been established that a technical glitch affected 157 centers out of 887 centers in the 2025 UTME. This was basically responsible for the general low performance of the candidates scheduled to sit the examination in those centers. As such, all the affected candidates will be contacted to reprint their examination slips towards retaking their examinations starting from May 16th. So this tweet did give details, but it still sparked outrage. You know, a better apology would have been put out. What is God proposes, man disposes? How more zero empathy could they have shown towards what this had put people's children through? I remember when we spoke about it yesterday, and we spoke about the student who lost her life, and I said the pressure on the part of parents is a lot. But as a student who prepared for this examination and you were confident that you would score higher than what you scored the previous year, only for you to see a lower score and you're hearing that it is due to a technical glitch because God proposes and man disposes, So we're still asking the question, which I feel like nobody has really pointed, you know, their limelight or that. Is an apology enough? What more can be done by JAMB to make sure that certain level of peace and succor is being given to these children affected? Let's hear the next caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from. All right, we lost the call. Do well to call back and let's hear your thoughts. Is an apology enough? Now, one of the reported issues that was raised by parents and candidates was inconsistent scoring, which is what we mentioned. Candidates who performed well in the mock exam. Someone said very soon they'll write an exam before they're able to write JAMB. It's already happening. You have to take a mock examinations, you know, just to test and try and see your ability. And some candidates performed very well in the mock examinations and even in previous years. And this time around, they received a far below expectation when it comes to their scoring. Imagine scoring 311 in 2024 and you're scoring 328 in the mock exams, and then the real exams you're scoring 152. I mean, how does that explain your ability as a student? Where does that put your mental state and your trust in the system? Where does that leave you as a student? So yes, we also implore students to send in their WhatsApp messages and also give us a call and tell us how they feel about the apology given by JAMB. Is it enough? What more needs to be done? Let's hear from the next call. Good morning. All right, we seem to be having a bit of technical glitch. So do well to send us a message on WhatsApp as well. If you cannot connect to either of the numbers on your screen, there are two numbers there. You call either of them or you send us a message via WhatsApp and let's hear your thoughts. Now, another reported issue that was raised by parents and candidates way before JAMB even responded was delayed result release. The result took over 2 weeks to be released, raising suspicions of manipulation. Before the result even came out, we had them saying 78% scored below 200. And I remember us having a WhatsApp message here of a student saying, please tell them to release the results and leave the percentage and the statistics first. Let us see our results, because the statistics is already making us anxious as to what our score is. So that came out and eventually they did release the result. But the delay raised suspicions already. And they also had cases of withheld results, where over 39,834 results were withheld, with 96 due to suspected malpractice, and others under investigation for fingerprint issue or processing delays. Let's hear from our next caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Hi, good morning. My name is Chioma. I'm calling from Abuja.
Good morning, Chioma. Go ahead with your thoughts.
All right. For me, I feel like an apology can never be enough, because it's become a routine for leaders in this country not to get one job right and then come on TV and begin to cry. For a whole 365 days, JAMB has just one job: to prepare and coordinate exams that will be written in the span of 1 week. For a whole year, they have just one job. Now they go to these centers that are accredited and check. If they don't put things in place or see that, okay, these facilities don't have stable network or whatever will cause glitches, it is their duty then to take those centers off accredited centers. Not letting children labor, giving them those centers as venues, and then coming out to say the exam was successful. And then when it doesn't work or people begin to put pressure, you then turn around and begin to cry on national TV. It is not acceptable by any means. Apology will not bring back the life of the girl. Apology would not make up for the pain and emotional torture that children have been through. So I don't know why you have one job for 365 days every year and you cannot get things right. If they are blaming it on technical glitches, what is the guarantee that those glitches have been checked and they would not reoccur even for this rewrite? Because they have just technical glitches like the easiest term to use. They cannot say anything else. So what is the guarantee that these glitches have been fixed? What is the guarantee that next year it will not reoccur? What is the guarantee that the people who are put in place to check the centers do their jobs and are sure that these centers can hold these examinations without coming out to say, oh, there has been a technical glitch or whatsoever? Because I bet you, if pressure had not been put, if they were not tagged, nobody would come out here and
to
cry
speak.
and apologize. So it's really heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking that for every sector of Nigeria economy, there's always a problem. People don't do their jobs right. People don't do what they are supposed to do right. And then they come and give an apology of man proposes, God disposes. Really, it's saddening and heartbreaking. I just pray, like Pastor said, that those who are going to rewrite, just give us a little faith in the Nigerian government. Indeed. That this glitch, in quotes, will not reoccur. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chioma, there, for your thought. Chioma has said something that did stand out for me. She said, you have just one job for 365 days to carry out an examination. So how much longer do you need to make it up to perfection? If using computer base is not working, can we go back to our HB pencil shading method that has been working? Why did we even leave it in the first place? Let's not forget that when these examinations took place, this same registrar came out to say it was one of the best and glitch-free that has happened in Nigeria, in the history of Nigeria. Clearly, he said that. And similarly, on the other hand, when the results were released, he still came back to defend it, saying that scoring below 200, 78% scoring below 200 in JAMB, is in line with a similar trend. No doubt, we had 77.6 that scored below 200 in 2024. At this point, people didn't even speak out. People just said, okay, we had, I think, 70 thereabouts as well, scoring below 200 in 2023. So there's been from 2010, it's been 60, 56, going until it got to this particular 78.2%. This raised alarm. Why would you say out of 1.9, 1.5 are scoring below 200 when we saw their mock examination performance? Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Yeah, good morning. I'm Tamplana Bukola Sunday from Akure.
Good morning, Bukola. How is Akure this morning?
Fine, thank you.
All right, share your thoughts on our topic this morning.
Yeah, the apology is not enough and it will never be enough. And that's just the truth. Let's just be sincere with ourselves. Now, when we see the statistics telling us that so percentage score less than 1%, that between 300 to 350. This is not enough. I think even those people that they said they scored the highest score, they should put them to test again. There is a lot of things teaching. And in a country called Nigeria, if we are still doing like this, when on a matter of education, then there is a lot. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I think there is a lot. That means even our education sector has been bastardized. That's just the truth. So if at the level of education, we can't even take it right now. Look at even the fund they said they gave to the university students. What are they doing with it? A lot of things are happening. That means now our educational sector have been politicized. And this is where we must take the bull by the horn. It's not something we should be proud of. Even it's something we should be ashamed of. Look at what international nations and all other countries will be saying about us in Nigeria now. I think something needs to be done. Thank you.
Thank you very much there for your thoughts. He said a lot needs to be done. We have WhatsApp messages coming in and we're going to take them shortly. So send in your messages, so we'll take them as soon as it's time. Sending your messages. We have this one from Adewoyi Francis. He says, apologies is not enough, if I must say. When any student is caught in exam malpractice, such candidates are punished. Now, there is malfunctioning, glitch in UTME, and people who are responsible only want to offer apology. I think there should be consequences against some JAMB officials. Thank you very much, Adewoyi. Yesterday, a lot of public sentiments were being raised in regards to this, and some people were even calling for the resignation of Professor Ishaq Oloyede. Some demanded an immediate re-examination for affected candidates and full transparency. Let us see their script. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Oh, good morning. My name is Goni Musa from Maiduguri.
Good morning. I didn't get your name, but go ahead with your thoughts.
My name is Goni Musa.
All right. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead.
Yeah, my thought about this thing that happened. I'm wondering, Nigerian people, why they are too much in hands. Nobody is perfect, and this man has come out to say that he had made a mistake. I think since this board was created, this kind of thing has never happened. So anybody that make a mistake, and he said that he's asking people to apologize him, even God, we used to make a mistake according to the Quran or Bible, and there is a way you can ask your God to forgive you. So I don't see people are criticizing him, some are abusing him. No, we have to pray for him, pray for the mistake not to happen again. I think that is the better. Some people are saying politicizing this and that. This is not the matter. If he denied that he did not make any mistake, I think that is the way that people will come out and challenge him. But this man is crying and he is accepting his mistake. He's not the person that did the mistake. Each and every person has his own phone number on a phone, and you are using data. You can buy your data with your money. And you can see that sometimes the data, it will not work. And this is a mistake. For me, I think we have to pray for him and apologize to him. And that is the destiny of that lady that.
All right. Thank you so much for your thoughts there. He has said that he has apologized to Nigerians to find a way around it. Apologies, but the question still stays, is the apology enough? Just in case we're wondering, so that we don't overlook, the name of the lady that died is Timileyin. She's not just that lady. She's a person, a human being with blood running through her veins. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Good morning, Lilian. This is Shetima Yakurima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shetima. Thank you for joining us back again. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Thank you so much. I want to respond to my brother who dropped a phone just now. This thing is happening time without number. How can he say this is the first time? Look at our children, the way they are failing this examination. So what we are saying is, we have confidence on our children, and we know what they can do. And honestly speaking, if you look at their performance in SSC and MOOC, I do not see the reason why they will be continue failing the JAMB. Let's take it for instance. If you have a production company, always you have products who are damaged you have to check what's wrong with your machine. So all what we are saying is somewhere, somehow, something wrong with the JAMB in totality. Whether they are not sincere in what they are doing, or they have some kind of interest in what they are doing, or they have a joy in telling our children. As I said earlier, it will serve as a blockage for the masses children not to get a higher education. If not, why all years a child will write JAMB 4-5 times before he fasts? It's very, very unfortunate. We have to checkmate. We have to voice our voice. We just have to challenge. We have to say something. If not, as I told you, they will come with another policy that you must write pre-JAMB before you qualify to write JAMB. Look at the series of examinations these children are writing, and yet they have been they're just failing them, just deliberately. I can call it deliberately, because I do not see the reason why somebody will pass a wire SSC with a climb
with flying colors,
with a flying color, and also all of a sudden he will fail JAMB. Why? What is so tough about the JAMB? That's the complaint that we are making. People should understand we are not criticizing, we are not doing anything, but we are saying the fact.
We're holding accountable.
If a mirror hold before you, Lilian, if you don't want to see the image in the mirror, you just go and change. That's because that mirror is showing exactly what you are.
All right.
That's the problem with the JAMB.
All right.
Well, thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Thank you so much, Shetima. Shetima has said, it is okay to hold people accountable. We have the next call from Philip. Philip said, good morning. Truly, this is a call. No apology would be enough. So the best is for them to allow the children to go and start school. Let them stop deceiving people. Allow us go back to our shade method we were using before. HB pencil, you will shade and you will write. But even with that, just like Shetima said, this has been occurring. 2024 was 77% below 200, but people did not speak out. If people had not spoken out, do you think an apology would have come out? Let's hear from the next caller. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
My name is Goni Musa from Maiduguri. I want to respond to Shetima, my friend, my brother from Maiduguri.
Go ahead.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Yeah, this thing that I'm saying about the JAMB people, he's saying that many students are passing on WAEC and NECO. Let us tell ourselves the reality. When you come to you will see people are registered, they are doing government school. When it comes to the on a NECO or WAEC, they will go and register through on private schools. Because if you see private school result, they used to give the children the answer before the exam. We know this, or let us tell ourselves the reality. That's JAMB. Nobody will give you the answer. You have to write it.
Musa, can I ask you a question?
Ask me.
Okay, when a representative in your local government, loots money that is meant to use to build hospitals to cater to people, and you find pregnant mothers dying and losing their children, when he apologizes, would you say he shouldn't be held accountable?
He will be held accountable.
All right. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
But what I'm saying...
All right. Do we still have Musa on the line? I believe Musa has answered the question and also answered his response to, the issue concerning JAMB. Holding people accountable is something that Nigerians need to wake up to. This same score happened in 2024. 2024 was 77% of people who scored below 200. But people didn't speak up. Nigerians said nothing. Nigerians accepted and said, oh, well. In 2023, it was around 68-70% thereabout that also had a low below 200. People didn't speak up. But you see the level of awareness and people wanting the best for Nigeria came up this time around, and people spoke up. If people didn't speak up, wouldn't this have been swept under the carpet? Is an apology enough? Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
It's not my practice to call back, but the reason I'm calling back is to caution the last caller. He said something when he first called. He said, the lady that died is the destiny. Please don't use that language again, because it's an emotional thing. Don't say the destiny of the lady to die. No, it's not the destiny. It's the reckless and the fault of the JAMB registrar that made the foolish mistake. He should resign immediately. That's the normal thing in a sane client. He should go. When you are calling and saying that we should forgive him, that is the destiny of that lady, he should apologize to the parents. That man should not say that on national TV, that is destiny. I mean, how would the parents feel if they are watching TV, Trust TV, now somebody is calling that it's the destiny of girl to die? No, that's very, very wrong. I hear such language. It's not the destiny at all. This is man-made mistake of the JAMB registrar. So that Musa should call and apologize to the parents. It's not fair. Please, this is national TV. Watch all over the world. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. Thank you, Ade, for calling back. That was why we asked the question. When you find people losing their lives in public hospitals, where you have situations where government officials are looting money that are meant to save lives in hospitals, does it mean that an apology is enough to cover that, and it is, their destiny to lose their life in hospitals where the government is meant to provide basic amenities? Education is one of the basic amenities. Nobody is against moving to the digital way and wanting to use computer-based examination. But when we first saw this result, the first questions we raised was, how many students actually have access or have seen a computer before to know how to use this computer-based test? How prepared is JAMB to do this again? It is since this computer-based test that you've seen a constant decline in the scores of students taking examination back to back. What is being done to revisit, reevaluate, and take a deeper look at all the processes and everything that played out? When people are held accountable, it says a lot about the awakening of the nation. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
My name is Saliu Zalanda. I'm calling from Bauchi.
Good morning, Saliu. Okay. Go ahead, speak up a bit so we could hear you louder. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Serious on this issue of JAMB Results and the things that surround it all. There is one thing that we always accept miracle from our society. The bottom line of the problem of our society started from our schools. We cannot be changing the standard of our education from primary to tertiary and expect the outcome of the graduate from such institution to be fair. If you allow exam malpractice at all levels, be it secondary school, tertiary institution, those graduates that we call them half-baked, they are the same kind of people that will come and be managing institutions like JAMB. So the earlier we correct this anomaly of shortcut for students, the better for all of us in the society. The apology for JAMB registrar is not enough. There has to be a measure that will prevent occurrence of this, or let's have a better leader that can take responsibility of his action and correct things properly. This is my take. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. He has come out to say that, no doubt, talking about the fact that exam malpractice was also raised for 39,000 taking part in exam malpractice. Punishment has to be given to them, no doubt. But he also called for more to be done in terms of not just throwing an apology to the people. And I keep occurs in my head over and over again. I said, if people had not spoken up, if people had not filed a suit against them, if people had not gone to social media to rile things up, would this apology have come out? All right. Those are questions we'll leave ourselves with. But as Nigerians, it's up to us to show our children that you should speak up and hold the government accountable for the kind of Nigeria we deserve. Public office holders should be held accountable. There is no excuse to have one job in 365 days, to carry out one exam a year, and you still have issues of technical issues that led to the loss of a life, a human being. Faith Opesusi Timelaine, she is a human being, a 19-year-old girl lost her life because she couldn't believe that was what she scored this year compared to a higher score in the previous years. Yes, people have different mental ability to deal with things, and that happened. So yes, it should be held accountable. It should be looked into. And it's a good thing Nigerians spoke up and held them to it. So that should be replicated across all other sectors of the country. Just maybe then we'd start getting towards the kind of Nigeria we deserve. We'll be going on a quick break. When we get back, the show continues on something a bit different. Do stay tuned.